Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekly Collective. It's great to see you. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. I hope everybody's having a great weekend so far, and I appreciate you spending some time with me. If you're brand new, this particular reading is meant for everybody. And so basically what we're going to do together is take a look at the next 7 days so you can chart out what's coming through. We're going to take a quick pulse of all the signs in the elemental. And then the special topic that you chose for me today is looking for something that is like a superpower. What is your strength? What is your hidden strength? What are the hidden opportunities that might be knocking on the door? And we will take a look at those. I didn't have a chance to update the graphic, but I did put it there in chat. Before we get started, thank you for all the well wishes. I'm still getting better. I think some of this might actually have to do with stomach issues, so more to come in the new year. I'm going to get some tests, but the part of the reason the videos are about a week behind is Mr. Apollo. Unfortunately, he was attacked by a neighbor dog this week, so I had to put some time and energy into helping him with his recovery, and I'll be keeping an eye on him as we talk. We'll send love, love and energy to this little guy. Basically, as I got out of the elevator, a bigger dog attacked him, and I had to go to the emergency with him like 3 days in a row. So there's been a lot going on. Mercury this year was bringing up different things. It wasn't technology. It's not always the traditional stuff, but sometimes it brings back things like taking care of your health and your well-being. And really that health is wealth. So, you know, we'll take a look at some of that as we're going into the reading as well. Thank you all for being kind and understanding. It was pretty scary this week. All right, let's zone into the week ahead, looking at opportunities. That's why we're here. And we're going to start off with channeled messages. So in the channeled messages today, it was pretty interesting because it's almost like Spirit was waking me up with this vision, but I was looking out a window. It was actually like a series of small windows, kind of like I've seen these in schools and hospitals or corporate buildings. They're like these little tiny blocks where you can't quite see all the way through. So it was opaque. And I felt the need to kind of like break through it. And it feels like there could be environmental blocks for some of you that are kind of prohibiting growth. Like, for instance, if you're at work, there could be unnecessary blocks that are going through that you have to sometimes, like hoops that you have to jump through that are really frustrating. There could be a lack of clarity, because that's really what that represents when it comes to communication. People may not just be telling you the whole story. There could also be windows of opportunity that are opening, but it requires a little bit of push from your perspective, because at the end of it, I just saw all of those little glass blocks falling, and then I could finally, walk through. Now, of course, if you're doing any home improvement, or if it's been a minute since you've looked at your sort of weatherproofing, it might also be a good thing to look at the windows in your life, the literal ones too, like make sure that the seals are good even on like the car windows or here in your home. This is one of the few apartments I've lived at where it's like weatherproof. I've been in other places where you can hear the wind blow through, and when it rains, the rain comes through. So I know that depending on how old the building is, you might need to look at that. But figuratively speaking, seeking the clarity that you need through being inquisitive, through researching, through just not giving up. I really feel like that's the takeaway. So as we look at the cards, I'm going to look for any of that opaque energy where people just aren't showing the full story, okay? And before we get into the 7-day forecast, I did finish Aries this week. I'm going to be posting that later today. I also would like to do a full moon reading as well, so keep an eye out. Like I said, I'm still dealing with some health issues, but pushing through to get it all out here, and I can't wait for 2025. We'll do something special at the end of the month as well to kind of look at the new year. Okay, so let's focus now on the week ahead. 7-day forecast. I'm just getting the graphics ready here. So let me turn the camera down, actually. We're going to shuffle the cards and clear out anything that you might be holding on to, any frustration, any lingering questions. We just want to be present and allow it all to come through, okay? All right, let's begin with this Sunday. So we have the Page of Pentacles, which is a wonderful card to make an appearance. Whatever you decide to put your energy into, perfect. I think we actually, for the daily, got the Ten of Pentacles, right? So Ten of Pentacles can represent contracts, signing on the dotted line, support, collaboration, and networking. And this is you communicating what it is that you want. And with that Ten of Pentacles, sort of like partner card, you can get it. You don't have to do it alone. That's the big takeaway here, right? Pages also are willing to both communicate and receive. So opening yourself up to feeling like, I can do this, I'm worth this, let's make this happen. Affirmative, receptive, and clear. And this is now kind of marrying it with the channeled messages. This is one of the places that you want to be very clear when it comes to expectations and requirements and needs. And it hits in all categories. You don't have to be working for Page of Pentacles to be sort of relevant in a relationship. I really need this assistance. Can I count on you? So communicating the expectation, checking the assumption, that kind of stuff also works with relationships, which those are contracts too, soul contracts. And if you're married, an actual contract. So working through all the contracts in your life, making sure you get what you need, making sure that your wishes, needs, etc. are fulfilled and understood. And in doing so, opening up some of those windows that we saw. Okay, so that's a good card for today. I'll take it. Let's look at Monday. We have the moon coming through and on the heels of a full moon, right? So this is talking about facing fears, taking some ownership over, what it is that you need to work on too, leaning into your own power and really sort of like, and not just power, but like responsibility and kind of bringing things into motion. The challenge on Monday, emotions and work-life balance and just balance in general. This card is tinged with fear, but it doesn't have to be solely fear. It's basically, so that's the breakthrough day, I feel like I saw, breaking through those opaque blocks. This is about breaking through. So if you can continue to push, there's a reward for the perseverance, for the facing of the fears, for the digging in and doing the work. It's not always easy, but it is necessary, okay? You're rewarded on Tuesday with the star. And the star represents a moment where the universe sees you, and there's a synchronicity that opens up. The main thing here is, are you ready? We talked about feeling a little imbalanced perhaps on Monday. One thing that the angel in the star card, or usually it's not an angel, the temperance card has one, but it's a woman, but she's kind of like balancing out all of the sort of things in her life that matter most. So really finding the perfect cadence. I think this is a day, I talked about planning would be good today. I feel like executing on the plan is what Tuesday is about. Stepping into the spotlight and saying, let's do this. If someone calls you or says, I'm interested in this, say, tell me more. That's a great way to approach the star card. Without having to say yes, say, tell me more, I'm intrigued. That can help you get past the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty. At least allow the light to shine on you a bit and explore what it has to offer. The other thing that I'm getting here as I'm just kind of tuning in with this, anxiety shouldn't come through, but it could be the anxiety to meet up to expectations. So know this, if a person is interested in you, if a job comes your way, if an synchronicity is right in front of you, Spirit sees worth in your energy. Who are you to doubt it? Just give it a shot and allow yourself to kind of like shine and explore. Wednesday, clearly in this spread, is the trickiest day. We have the Devil card coming through. Things may not always be what they seem. You see another layer to someone else. You learn something that you didn't initially see, maybe in a contract or communication. True colors are coming through, but when that happens, the devil can comprise so many different emotions. Sometimes it's fear or anxiety. Sometimes it's control. Sometimes it's deception. But whatever it's coming forth, it's now appearing so that you can not waste your time on that person, place, or thing that might be showing up in this way, and also so you can reclaim your power at the end of the day. If somebody can't give you or won't give you what you want or deserve, it's really time to take a look at that connection and just think, are we on the same level? Is this worth my time and energy? And also, if there's a continuous block in a certain area, the universe is trying to help you find something where you can receive more reciprocity, because this is the opposite of that. This is someone taking more than they're giving. And the previous day was about give and take, okay? So if you put it out there, and if we have a little bit of a story here, saying what you need, seeing if someone is authentic, trying to find that sort of natural flow in your life, but if it's blocked by a person, place, an organization, an environment, that block tells you you can do better. You don't need to kind of like spin your wheels here anymore, right? What I like here is, as we go into Thursday, we actually have a little bit of a turning point. You might change your mind. There might be a new idea that comes through. A Knight of Wands is very perceptive and usually is moving forward, but when reversed is pausing long enough to make sure that they feel right, that things feel right and make sense. Pay attention to something that doesn't make sense. If you can't compute now, it's probably not going to get much better 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 years from now. It should be right at the beginning. If someone says something like, we'll figure it out later, get it in writing and figure out how much later is, and make sure there's a contract in place. We're still kind of, this week, we're coming out of the shadow of retrograde, thank God, right? But there's still a little bit of room, even up until the day before Wednesday, for miscommunication. So make sure that you're both on the same mental page and make sure that you gel with what you're seeing. So many times in my life, I think about instances where I stepped in, whether it was a job, a living situation, a relationship, and you think, I don't know about this. Yes, you do. That's what you know, that it's probably not right, that you probably need a little bit more information. Pause and get the information. Ask questions. Now, if everything's really great in your life, the Knight of Wands reverse can also be about going back and remembering, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. How can I integrate it? So it could be taking an idea, and rather than throwing it out the window, you could decide to kind of like rebuild it, rework it a little bit. So finding something that needs to just be tweaked a bit and is then maybe going to be very positive in the long run. And then a celebratory card here as we look at Friday, 3 of Cups. Some of you are pulling back a little bit. You want some me time. This is a very solo 3 of Cups. Usually you would have 3 women with the 3 cups. The reason that this is solo is she's balancing a lot in her life. I like the way that they showed this. And she's like, do I have time? Do I have energy? Can I put the attention into this one extra thing? It could be a new relationship, because this card is connected to that. It could just be something fun or new opportunity, but you're feeling exhausted. Honor that, honestly. Based on this illustration, if you just feel like you've had it up to here, good. Then take care of yourself and you can say no. Moderation is key. A reversed 3 of Cups, much like a 9 of Cups, can show going to an extreme. Usually this one is not having enough fun or having too much fun. But it could be really anything that you might be. And the temptation probably comes midweek. You know you need to kind of move on from it, but this is the day where you kind of step back. So avoiding temptation, there's 3 cards associated with that, and avoiding triggers. Moon, Devil, and 3 of Cups reversed are all working in the same energy network. So definitely be mindful of that. Know your limits, and it's okay to say no, okay? Now let's take a look at the beautiful sun card. I love this illustration here for Saturday. So the sun card represents birthing, creation. I'm going to find the traditional one while we're talking. And also just it's fun energy. So I do want you, if you're not going to have some fun on Friday, maybe Saturday, doing something that creates a sense of joy. And, while I'm finding it, the fact that there is a sunflower on this one, heliotropic, like you're leading the charge, not necessarily following. And sometimes it feels like we are uncomfortable if the spotlight is shining on us. I get it. But do something that feels right for you. Don't be afraid. I can't find it. It's okay. Don't be afraid to step into the spotlight. Normally on this card, we would have a little baby that's riding on the horse, and then that would basically represent birthing and creation and irreverence and playfulness. So I think it's important to kind of not take yourself too seriously, Allow things to just naturally flow. All of that being said, this is a perfect day to mix and to mingle and to hang out with other people, to really allow yourself to have some fun, okay? Whatever that kind of includes for you. It is a power card too. It's one of the strongest cards in the major arcana. So if you want to get your way on something, a negotiation, for instance, or difficult conversation, it's a very bright, favorable card, but it's really good for dealing with this. So if someone isn't ready or willing to talk on Monday or Wednesday, they may be ready on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're just getting, like, don't give up. We have the Nine of Wands, which is perseverance, strength, and very, very close to, completion. What happens on this card, though, is self-care, something I had to practice a lot this month, as you can see. I had to slow down. I was like, I just have to sort of produce less for a week or two while I take care of myself, while I take care of my loved one, and it will be okay. And so with this card, it can be exhaustion, like mental exhaustion. It can be some of what I was going through, where it could be like dizziness or headaches or migraines, or, just you feeling like, I can push myself, but should I? That's exactly when you probably shouldn't. Give yourself time, pace it. You can finish it tomorrow. This is one day where I would say it's okay to not burn yourself out, but finish it. The Nine of Wands is saying finish it, but you don't have to do it all today, all right? Just create a schedule, which is a common theme as we're looking at this week. Stick to it. If you need an accountability partner or coach or a mentor to help you out with that, so be it. Let's look at the highlights and the challenges for this week, and then we'll move on to the next portion. All right, so here we go. Highlight is this for sure. I love this bright, instead of the sun itself, they have all these sunflowers. So growth. And, when you think of a flower that breaks through the ground, it's kind of like that too. I've grown mammoth sunflowers before, and they don't just open all at once. They kind of unfurl. And so the beginning of that unfurling is happening, if that's a word, on Saturday. It's not going to it takes like 3 or 4 days after this to really feel that, okay, this is happening. But some good news, some good energy is coming forth just a little under a week from now, 6 days from now. I also think, of course, Tuesday is great. These are a tie. They're both stars, basically. We just call one the sun. So you have 2 bright days, and arguably equal. I can't pick a favorite from Tuesday to Saturday. I just feel like on Saturday you're a little bit more ready for it, so it's coming through a little stronger. But the star card, of course, is great. And this is really encouraging you to connect with your higher calling, with the things that make you happy, excited, inspired. And the challenge, really the only core challenging day, is Wednesday. It was interesting, the day that he got hurt was like a devil day. So sometimes it's about awareness. And I pulled him back fast enough so that, he has a lot of stitches across his stomach. But had I not been more aware, it could have been worse. So you can't always avoid something, but you can transmute it. You can also delay it, or you can take it down a notch. So the goal in the Devil card is to see trouble and then not engage with it or fix it or find another path. So I would love for you on Wednesday to start the day with meditation. On Tuesday night, get a good night's sleep and just really look around, and also like tune in here and make sure if there's something you feel like I need to do that or I shouldn't do that, that's the day to really listen to instinct. Instinct helped me save him. Instinct can help you save yourself from time, energy, and money, right? Down the line. Okay, so let's go ahead now and expand it. This is the only portion of this that is going to be specific to signs, fire, earth, air, and water. Everything else is for everybody that's present. Let me see which deck I'd like to use. All right, I'm going to pull one from the side. Hold on a second. Actually, I'm going to do the light seers, because we'll do something special today, either like the last unicorn or sun and moon or something like that. Okay. Fire, earth. Ooh, look, earth, you got the star. Air, and water. All right, let's talk. We're going to begin with fire signs first. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You have a very, very favorable card in the Three of Pentacles. This is recognition. This is learning. This is, and not only learning, but mastery. It's if you really want to make something happen, you can do it and do it to, a great degree this week. It's also a publication card, not as big as the world, but it can involve dispersing, disseminating, or discussing something. Signing on the dotted line as well with this. Use your written communication to move things forward. A text, a letter, or an email can help you, can help open a door, can help protect you, can help uncover things. Because to go to the special topic, we'll be looking at that in particular. Where can we find the superpower this week? For you, it is in communication so far. And don't send mixed signals. I always laugh at, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but again, the signals are the wrong order. I believe the red's supposed to be at the top, right? So anyway, be clear. If you want it, say yes. If you don't, say no. It's a great week also to engage in any sort of training or learning experience. And teamwork is also a part of this. It's actually really nicely illustrated here. You always see three people, but you don't always see them so nicely collaborating. So lean on others for support and insight and for proofreading, since I'm looking at those lights in the wrong order. Okay, so pretty good week for you, fire. Keep me posted in the comments. Let's go on to Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the star reversed. So things are opening up for you, but you have to believe it in order for it to really stick, right? So if you have too much hesitation, doubt, or uncertainty, it doesn't stop things from happening or progress, but it can delay it or it can create friction that doesn't need to be there. Really know that you've worked hard to open up this moment in time. You're worthy. Hopefully you're ready. And this card is just encouraging you to embrace this opportunity for all that it is. Don't dim your light. Don't mute your power for anybody. If someone in your life wants you to be less than, this is where you really want to lean in knowing who you are and not let them sort of stand in your way in that perspective. The only other thing here is there could be a surprise. Someone could, in a good way, just sort of like call on you, like in class or at work or in life, just saying, hey, I need you for this. And you wonder, can I do it? This is where you just step into it and think, why can't I do it? So could be some surprise opportunity opening up. There is a tendency to not always show your true colors or your true strength. Allow yourself to be seen. And if there's anyone in your life that wants you to dim your light, that speaks more to their own challenges and issues than it does to your deservingness or anything of that nature. So it's a good week for Earth, but we do need that star in the upright position. Ground, meditate, tune in, and embrace opportunity, okay? You might also just be dealing with some rejection, and you're wondering, can I still do it? And this card is saying, yes, you can. Rejection is a form of protection. It isn't fun, but sometimes it's necessary. Moving on from Earth to air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, an Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This can be a request. I want this, or I don't want this, or you need to fix this. A command, a request, something where you're putting expectations out there and you're waiting for a reply. It can also be you just deciding to move a resource around. You've saved, and now you're like, well, I'm going to go to college, or I'm going to buy a house, or I'm going to do this. So you're going to invest in an opportunity. Now, with this card in reverse, do your research and make sure that you're completely clear on what it is you're getting into, and know that things don't grow overnight. That's the other thing. If you're trying to heal yourself, heal your finances, create some sort of movement, it may take a while for you to get your bearings and for you to put down some roots. See if there's anything else. You can just say, I want this, because in the upright position, it's sort of like, oh, great, thank you. But sometimes if you're asking someone out, for instance, or if you want a promotion, or if you want clarification, it's okay to ask and just say, hey, how do you feel about this? So being a little bit more outspoken and putting yourself out there, that's what this card is really bringing forth. But it's good. But don't be afraid to ask, especially if there's a lack. If something isn't there, say, we need to do better, or I need more, okay? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is one of the cards that works with the devil that we got at the midweek. Now, the cool thing is, with the Five of Swords, it's not as intense as that. I love this illustration because that little crow or hawk in his ear is driving him crazy. And having a communication with someone when the Five of Swords energy is present, we can all feel like this main character here in the front. We all want to be the liberating person in the background, liberated rather, but what you need to do is really sort out where is the communication coming from. Sometimes a person will just complain about everything. It's like there's a cloud over their head. Sometimes what you do is never enough. Or often you are trying to tell them like, you need to do this, but they won't take accountability or listen to input. So it just ends up being like a waste of oxygen, a lot of hot air that everyone's putting out there, and you leave feeling depleted. If you're ever in a situation where you leave and you need to take a nap, that is the biggest red flag possible, that it's just not worth it. And there needs to be, it's time to move in a new direction, whatever that might mean. Now, if you do need to try to get someone to do something and they're putting forth Five of Swords energy, get it in writing, show them the agreement, the signature on the dotted line, get help from someone else. They're not listening to you. But if 2 or 3 people come forth, it might be enough to break through, because we can't always ignore this. This could be a coworker, this could be a family member, this could be a neighbor, and you have to wake them up. So sometimes we are the crow trying to get someone to listen. The crow isn't always the complainer, it is the voice of reason. Do what you can, but don't expect miracles with Five of Swords. Slow and iterative process, and then at some point maybe just diminishing returns so you can do what you can do and then move on. For yourself, it's the inner saboteur. And this is the easiest interpretation to deal with, because many of you may be having a great week. Don't get in your head about, I can't do this. This won't happen. You've heard my mantras and my tools with this. Just think, let me find a way. Let me figure it out. Why can't this happen? And it's human and it's natural to have uncertainty, but don't let it hold you back from the sun and the star energy that we saw coming forth this week on Tuesday and Saturday. So open up to those 2 bright lights and don't let the other stuff, whether it's internal, environmental, or a person in your life, hold you back. Okay? Pretty manageable overall. There is still a need for grounding. We are still in the shadow of Mercury, but it is direct, and so it makes it a little bit easier this week. By the time Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's comes, things should be a lot easier. This week is the in-between week. But there's a lot that can get done, by the way. The holidays haven't completely started, so that's why we're seeing so many cards of like the Pentacles and the stars coming through. You can still make a lot of progress this week. Leverage that, lean into that, make some magic happen, okay? All right, let's get ready for the next portion. By the way, if you like this, please remember to subscribe. Like I said today, I'm gonna try to post a few videos. I am feeling better. So at some point, Pisces, I'm doing it in reverse. Pisces should be coming up, and then I'll be working on all the other signs this week. So I may kind of do some reordering of like Pisces is gonna be how it is, but the rest of them I might kind of like try to play around with the format a bit just to make sure that I can get them all out and they're digestible. So be flexible and be open, if you will. All right, let me turn this down here, and I'm going to take a look and see which deck. I think I might do the last unicorn today. Let's see. I'm going to pick 3 of my favorites, and we'll let them decide. These are all kind of magical, so let me just give each one a shuffle. Highest card wins. Stop it. If we get 3 knights, I'm going to laugh. All right, I'm going to pick this one because I like it. We have 2 knights here, and the page is the lesser of them. So we're going to do this one. It's just beautiful illustration, and that's what's calling. So if 2 are the same, I choose, and I want that. All right, let's close our eyes for a moment. We're tuning into your superpower, and in particular, how to activate it, identifying it and activating it. So let's see what you can do, where you can shine this week, and how I can help you. Imagine, if you will, I had a little rainbow in the temporary image. So imagine yourself basically after the storm. There's a beautiful light around you. The sun is shining, and you can see all the colors, all the spectrum of light. Let's bring in all those possibilities today as well. Ooh, interesting. The Travelers is a bonus card in this deck, and whenever I pull it, big things happen. So some cool stuff this week. The devil keeps showing up. El Diablo, stay away, please. I really love these illustrations. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I still need to get like a desk here, so that's why sometimes, like on the side here, so I sometimes have to bring up the boxes, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed seeing the boxes. Yeah, the devil's saying pay attention to the details. Right on. Okay, let me take a quick drink of water, and then we're going to take a look at Amen to Joy for your catalyst. That's a good card. Okay, catalyst time. We have joy coming forth, reminding you that, yes, it's important to get work done. Yes, it's important to make progress, but without some sort of happiness, joy, celebration, what are we working for, right? Take some time to yourself. And also, this is just an acknowledgement. You might have just gone through a lot in life, in work, in health, but there is a silver lining, and this card is reminding you to connect with things in your life that pull you back into that energy of joy and celebration. Just taking time to hold some space, because she's just out there in the middle of the field, is so important. And I feel like many of us, myself included, you can get your day so sort of like built up with every minute and every hour being occupied that you're not giving yourself ample time to breathe. So please give yourself some time to rest, to breathe, and to recalibrate. It's important, okay? We have the Knight of Pentacles at the center. He's really focused. He's really looking at that coin in front of him. I love that the sun is on this particular card, and we see a path in front. Whatever this year, whatever this week, whatever this day might have brought you, however challenging it might be, there's something better ahead. And this is focusing on mapping out the path in front of you. Strategic progress is what I'm getting here. So again, once more, planning, strategizing, and mapping is such an important thing to be doing over this next 7 days. You might also land on some opportunity, like something could be coming in front of you. So the devil's in the details. So the devil's coming through as you, but the devil is reversed, and that means that you can get what you want, but you have to really be discerning. So look at how closely he is looking at that coin in front of him. Slow down long enough also to look around. So I mentioned that my awareness is the thing that helped with my experience with that card in this past week. So there's always a way, there's always an opportunity to mute what came through with the devil. So look up. He is looking at the details, which I like, but he might be also missing something in the distance. You have to look in all directions. Crossing this is a powerful card. The last day I pulled it was election day, I think. I might have done it in another monthly reading, but when I pulled it on a daily one, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a big day. So with the Traveler's energy, to me, the way I interpret this is it's beyond the world. Like it would almost be like the 22nd. So that means that it's a new paradigm, a paradigm shift, a new world, right? So we're on the precipice of a new year. And so things can break, you can break through things. You can break them down, but you have to pay attention to this. Fears, doubts, limits, anxieties, whatever the devil might represent for you. The sooner you, and the opacity of things that I was seeing with the window that kept, it woke me up. I heard someone saying, get up, get out, and I woke up. It was Spirit, one of my guides talking to me. Probably so I would wake up on time for all of you, but it is also a wake-up call when this card appears. We have the teamwork that we would see in the Three of Pentacles. We have the partnership that we would see in the Four of Wands, and we have the world energy. So I also think that this is something like grassroots efforts. You can work with a small group of like-minded individuals to make really powerful things happen. And it all begins with one person. But one person can't take it the distance. We need actually a few more. And you may have to look around a little bit, the travelers. Some of you are thinking about traveling, relocating, or expanding something. The world card would comprise all of that. Going beyond borders. So in order to do that, they're doing a lot of research and work and teamwork. Put in that research. Don't just kind of go forth without the preparation. But travel, for whatever reason, is playing an important role this week. Take your time, be mindful. It could also open you up to something good as well. All right. Deep past. Oh my goodness. We've got the Seven of Swords here, which is the sister card or partner card to the Five of Swords, and all of them work with the devil. So typically in any given spread, and because we're pulling like 3 different spreads today, I see these cards usually together or in rapid succession. So this is accountability. And this is also deception. And so many of you are past it, but it still might be something that either like there's a shadow of it in your life, where you're like, is that going to happen again? It doesn't have to. There could also just be a person. Sometimes the devil can be a family member, a neighbor, a coworker, or a boss. For a short amount of time, you have to deal with them until you find a way to unshackle yourself. So know what you know about that person and don't get pulled into their spider web. In one of the decks, the Mystical Moments, the devil is a spider. And I like that because I can see the devil weaving a web. So don't get caught up in it. That's basically it. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with others. If someone is being dishonest or acting out of sorts, call them out on it. Just say, that's not what we didn't talk about that. This is different, and show them again. Use documents or writing to kind of help you out and say, this is what we discussed. Please finish this. Ultimately, you cut losses. In the traditional Seven of Swords, someone just walks away. So we can interpret the person in the foreground. I'm going to use the 5 here too, just to show these two. With both 5 and 7, there comes a point where you're like, is it worth it? I don't know. And sometimes it's just not worth it. So if you feel like you've said everything you can say, done everything you can do, there comes a point where you might just take what you can and leave. So he can either be the one that is the deceiver, or he can just be the one that is done with it. And he's like, I'm going to take this and move on. In the Seven of Swords, one thing here to focus on, which is why I pulled this one up, is the distraction in the background. So sometimes he takes advantage of the distraction that happens there. Most people don't look close enough to see people fighting. And arguably, it could be this moment. So in the background, we might have the Five of Swords thing happening where someone isn't just listening, whatever, and then someone else takes advantage of the distraction. So pick and choose battles, pick and choose your investment of energy. That's why these are partner cards, and they all work with the devil. So in my mind, when I think of the major and minor arcana, I kind of see them in groups hanging out. And the moon is with that group too. And we got a lot of those cards. So we have themes of accountability, honesty, integrity, and potentially someone trying to deceive. But Your superpower is you tuned into this reading, you're smart, you're paying attention, and you're going to not fall for that. You're just going to say, no thanks. No is even stronger. You don't have to say thanks on that. So walk away from that. We see so many shows that are fixer-upper shows, like sometimes there's a home improvement show, or there's a lot of shows on cable where they take someone and buy them a wardrobe or try to change their life. And I'm like, to a degree. But when it's these two, no. They have to want to change. These two don't want to change. So unless someone's ready for the change to happen, it's not going to work. It's not going to stick. Don't waste your time. You're the magician. Okay, your superpower came through. The magician is a jack of all trades, meaning that they can put their mind and energy into almost any project or endeavor, and it's like the Midas touch, magic. Sometimes magician energy gets overextended, and it's like if you're cooking and there's too many things, one of them burns, one of them doesn't, you don't even turn the burner on, like you can overdo it. So know just how much you can do, pay attention, and do less but do it better. But your generalist abilities, not everyone can kind of like do a lot at once. You can do a lot at once this week for whatever reason. Know your limit and then let it go. Whatever isn't worth it. Magic only works if you believe in it. It can still work, but it won't be effective, not the same effectiveness. So believe in yourself. If you believe it can happen, it can happen. If you persist, you might be able to break through. If you immediately say, I don't think I'm ready, okay, the universe tunes it out and says, call back when you are. So believe in yourself, focus, delegate, and don't try to take on the weight of the world. And the joy card just flipped around. So that can actually make your sort of joy quotient a little bit better. This could be the turning point. 10 of Pentacles, beautiful 10 of Pentacles here. So the card was reversed. Some of you are pulling back from tradition. This card came through today, but one of the things I don't want to go on forever. I want the short to be short when I do it. So one thing that I didn't put in today's short was the 10 of Pentacles can represent expectations from family, from society, from people around you. And when it's reversed, you're saying, I want to take what? A different path. I want to try something else. And you can. You can if you want to. This is also looking at how much time you spend thinking about resources, money, energy, activities in your life. If it's all that and it's not enough of this, we're seeing a change in your mind and your perception on like what's valuable to you. Value is subjective. I don't even carry cash. I usually carry just a card or whatever on my Apple, my watch or whatever. But like whatever your currency is, a dollar, a euro, what peso, whatever, it's just paper. We give it value. We say it's worth however many cents or whatever, but it's not, it's paper, right? You go to a job and they're like, you're worth however much currency per hour. Okay, that's arbitrary. And so it's, again, subjective. Two candidates can be valued differently. I mean, so in our own lives, we can look at things and think, that's not worth as much as it used to be to me. This is worth more. I'm going to put more energy here because it's more valuable. So your values are changing. It's a different way to interpret the card. With less in the card, it's sometimes easier for me to look at it because I'm just looking at the coins or the pentacle and then the head. So your choice on what you focus on and derive value from could be changing this week. And then that opens up ideation, a new idea, a new path. We have an ace here, Ace of Swords. Use your communication. Yes and no are two of the most powerful and clear words in the English language anyway, because you don't need anything else. Yes means yes, no means no. And you can add to it if you want to, but that's the most powerful thing. So ask yourself yes or no. And whatever it is in front of you, if you combine the ace and the magician, you're in a really good place. Well, the magician's actually deciding to take one of the elements, air, and move it forward. Communication, execution, and movement. So it feels like that's where the magician is leaning. And the magician might be leaning to sign on the dotted line, write, speak, communicate. Aces only work if you do something about them. And this card in particular is action-based. Wands is more in your mind. Pentacles might already be a resource that you have. Cups is your heart, but this one's action. So you have the power. You're being called in a different direction. It's just a matter of, are you ready to do it? Or are you letting someone talk you in or out of it? Are you letting your inner self talk yourself in or out of it? The Traveler's card is showing you that you could find people that are on the same page that could help you with this. Take it to the next level. All right, everybody's favorite card here. We gotta look at it. Let's look at how this one's illustrated, and then talk about it a bit. So the Devil was reversed. In this particular card, we just have, I like to just think about them as masks. They could be heads. But two faces is what I'm really seeing in this. So this Devil is two-faced. Someone isn't showing up the way that they should. So the Seven of Swords is two-faced. They say one thing to you, they say something else to someone else. Be mindful of the alliances that you make. Be careful about what you say to whom, and make sure that you trust people, like with this information, because word travels fast with that. So somebody could be showing up as an ally when they're not. And if it happens, it's only once that you're going to get fooled in a situation like that. They're not your friend. They're not your ally. The other thing with the Devil is the chain. So when we look at this, the shackles, the chains, the limits, there could be someone that is trying to anchor your growth or your trajectory. Oftentimes this comes in the form of a boss, but it could be anybody. Sometimes a friend is afraid to see you move on. Sometimes even a parent doesn't want you to move away or do something because they want you close. Possessive energy, basically, possession, but in the way of like, I want you here or I need you. The way that it sometimes comes out is, I could never do it without you. Please don't go. Please, like that kind of energy. If you're ready for expansion, you're ready for expansion. True love is unconditional and open, and you let them fly, right? So this can be the test that helps you understand what kind of energy there is. What we want to do to thwart the Devil, we talked about paying attention, so that's already been said. The other thing is honesty, integrity, and transparency. If you want to do it, say yes. If you don't, say no, which we already said. If something's wrong in the contract, circle it with a big red marker and say, that's not what we talked about. What's this about? And negotiate. But here's the thing. If it doesn't feel right, you don't win with the Devil card. What we try to do is circumnavigate around it. Don't sign a contract if you're feeling this energy. If somebody's trying at the very beginning to trip you up in small print, and it's more than just one little thing or an oversight, that's indicative of the long-term engagement with that person. If you meet someone and they're dating someone else or saying bad things behind your back or whatever, like whatever the dishonesty is, that's them. They showed up day one with that. That's them always. They're not going to change. So accept what you see when you see it. You can't change the Devil, but you can move beyond the Devil. You move around the Devil. And sometimes you can get the Devil to exit left, or right, stage left, stage right, so that you can move on. But don't try to change it. That's the big takeaway there. Okay? If it's not good enough, it's not good enough for you. But lead by example. The Devil hates integrity and honesty, and it's going to feed on an energy that doesn't have that. So the higher you raise your vibration, the less the Devil wants to and kind of energetically be around you. We're talking figuratively too, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, environment's pretty good. We have the Queen of Pentacles. It's in reverse. In a negotiation, we'll look at career trajectory, etc. This as we go into the expanded, but ask for more. And because especially it's on the Devil, there seems to be something one-sided this week about contracts or about agreements, and you're just reclaiming power and saying, no, this is what I need. In your own life, this is splurging and nurturing and taking care of yourself. And the upright position for the Queen of Pentacles is she's kind, she's maternal, she's giving, she's outgoing, she's warm. But she gets exhausted doing this all the time. Sometimes she needs to go and have a massage or read a book or take a nap or take a day off or a vacation, whatever you need to do to pamper yourself. Queen of Pentacles is coming through with that. She is in the environment. This can represent someone that will take and take and take. She's connected to the devil. She may not intentionally do it, but it is a bad habit. So one of the things that you want to do is, again, have proper boundaries, especially if this is family or work, kind of, leaching into your life. You have to find a way to have proper boundaries. All right. So 3 cards. We're trying to identify your superpower. Jack of all trades, communication, more communication here. And you have a lot of kings, by the way, here too. So we'll talk about that in a second. But don't underestimate your voice. It's not about how perfect or eloquent you are. It's about how real and relatable you are. I'll take that any day over someone that is rehearsed but not resonating. It's the same reason I'd rather hear a live performance for a musician that is just slightly rough around the edges but is emotionally there, like it's raw and you're connected, and they might go a half octave lower, but the delivery was amazing. I'd rather that than studio perfection and lip syncing, because I'm feeling the message. So feel the message when you deliver it. You don't need a lot of words to say something powerful. 3 words in the language, I love you, can make a really big impact. Simple words, small words, but big impact. So less is more. Feel it, say it, do it. And in general, people may actually tap on you for a speaking engagement, for advice. Again, I feel like you have more than one opportunity. So another thing the devil hates is discernment. You could just say, you're not good enough. This isn't good enough. I want something more. And we see better opportunities knocking. These 2 I see connected. So there's someone here that wants to take more than they should. There's someone here, there's more than one option here that wants to engage on the level with you. Okay? So yeah, be real, be relatable, be action oriented. And I think this is going to be what helps you break through. Helps you fly. Think of Superman, Wonder Woman. They were all these sort of superheroes can fly. So this is air. You can fly with the words, with the action. Okay? All right. In the outcome, we have the King of Cups. And King of Cups is passion, compassion, intuition, creativity, emotion. We were just talking about the raw emotion, and sensitivity. That's why if I had to work for a boss, I want the King of Cups, probably. Like, this would be one that just, it's fun. You would just want to be with them, right? They're kind and they're giving. And it's not just about money. It's like, it's a warm environment. So if you're looking for love, if you're looking for a job, there's a couple different options here. One is like, well, I'll break it down as we go into this, but they're both compelling for different reasons. So it depends what you're looking for. But we see 2 opportunities knocking based on your ability to move forward, to focus, to move forward, and not to accept less than you deserve. Okay? Let's expand. So I don't want to kind of like talk about it again. Let's just get into that expanded forecast. So we're going to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll start off with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. And for that, we have star being healing codes. Okay, so the healing component is one thing coming forth here. Really take care of yourself in this moment in time. If you look carefully, you can actually see like the light being here. I have to pull it really close so you can see it. Important information, wounds are healed, recharging. So with little Apollo, every day he gets better. My heart was broken when he first got sick. And I didn't post anything because I didn't want to be alarmist. He's so much better. He's slightly sedated, but feeling better. But the first day it looked the worst. I was like, oh my gosh, is he going to be better? And then the swelling went down, and then we just went back and they took something out that was draining it. And like every day he gets better. So wounds, physical, mental, financial, they take time to heal. Christmas Day, we get the sutures out for him. So baby steps along the way. And sometimes we just, because we're so used to social media, swipe up, swipe down, more entertainment, more like we want immediate results. And this card is saying when it comes to the body in particular, because we're looking at health, it's not immediate. And we have to go to the energy component of it here. Your heart, where you're holding the grief or the anger or the frustration. Your memory, where things might be coming back. And then just really kind of like allowing yourself to reprogram, because the devil, by the way, can just be limiting thoughts. All the stuff, can't, won't, never. We need to pull that out of the vocabulary this week, because it's not serving you. It's serving the devil. So we don't want that, okay? Think about things that you can affect, that you are feeling good about, that you can control, and that's going to help you move in a good direction. Okay. Let's break it down and just quickly look at high-level messages around your general health. So the devil is a temptation. For those of you that have worked that path of sobriety and have gotten over something, there's a person attached to this. You know that person. Just avoid them. They don't have your best interest, and they'll try to get you kind of back into an old habit. Whether it's been health or it was something with a substance abuse or whatever, or emotional, and you're like, I don't want to go down that path again. You don't have to. He's looking at that pentacle and thinking, it's not worth it. I can say no to the invitation. I can say no to you. I'm good. Thanks, I'm good. So that's, sometimes the devil's a person, personified. So, because it's connected. This person you know too because you can't satisfy them. There's like more and more and more. They just want more. So it should be easy for those of you that have that. This can also just be because we're in the holiday season. There is this feeling that family sometimes can be the energy of this. And it's because you get kind of like tied up in expectations from parents, or again, are you breaking with tradition, doing this or that? So freedom and liberation really comes forth as sometimes it's okay, it's better. We didn't get the hermit, but we might as well have. It feels like many of you are connecting with that need to hermit a little bit and take care of yourself, to travel and do your own thing. Most of the cards are pretty good. That's what I'm seeing here. The biggest one is this. It's a person or a habit or a thought process. So we're going to work on that, and we're going to remember that healing takes time. One thing that I'm doing with Apollo, and you can do that if you have someone in your life that you're a caretaker for, maybe a parent or a child, I don't show my fear for him. I just pretend like things are normal. And I give him lots of love and, try to just kind of give him the touch that he needs, the positive touch, because he was attacked. So that heals him, because normalcy is really important. If no one in your life is around to give you the normalcy, do something that gives your own body and energy that feeling like it's going to be okay. This is a normal thing. It helps you work through the trauma, right? And you don't have to do this alone, and you're not stuck. That's the one thing with the devil card. It's reversed. He doesn't have control here. He wants control, but he doesn't have control. You hold the reins. And that's my big takeaway here. The upright cards I'm not worried about. This is maybe just overworking, and again, familial pressure to do things that you don't want to do, maybe getting married, maybe working in a certain path, job, etc., not being able to move or travel. So it's about liberation this week in particular. Okay? Okay. Let's move on to wealth. So with wealth, we're looking not just at money, and it's so interesting because this card really speaks volumes about this. It's what do you value? What do you care about? And it's changing. You know what it is, many of you, but you may be making peace with it. So death and judgment represent like two different ends of the same coin. Death is it's kind of like the black hole, and then judgment is the white hole, or the sort of like where all the energy goes on the other side. So it feels like you've gotten ready here to change, make a change, but communicating it or taking the step, it's not there. So butterflies and moths both go through a transformation. Moths cocoon, and the butterflies go into chrysalis, but it's all metamorphosis. You have to let go of something in order to make room for something else. And I can't tell you when that will feel right for you, but we do have an ace. Soon, a week, a day, a month, sooner than later. You don't leave the chrysalis or the cocoon until you feel that readiness, because particularly if you are deciding, I'm going to change my major, I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to start a business, big changes, I'm going to retire. You have to be ready for people saying, are you sure? If you're not sure and they ask you that and then it takes your breath away, you're not ready. So get to the point where you're like, I'm so sure, I am so ready, because then you're going to succeed. So do the work this week to get to that point where you're like, let's do this. Not should I do this, but let's do this. Then you are out of your cocoon phase, okay? Now I'll read it in 3 major categories. If you are working or self-employed, if you're looking for work, if you're a student or retiree. If you're working, someone else is your boss. Here's what I see. This doesn't feel good. The devil card in reverse feels like you've had to keep fighting to get what you deserve. There could also be someone around you that's trying to steal your spotlight. So let's say everything else is good, because I do like most of these cards. This can be a jealous coworker or someone that just isn't acting the way that they should. It's happened before, it'll happen again. So what you're doing this week is cutting that. You're going to take that Ace of Swords and cut the chains and say, I'm done. I did this once on a big project I was working on. The person was unkind and insensitive and bossy. And we were pretty much peers. And I just said, I don't want to work with you on this project anymore. This was when I was starting to awaken. And I quit my job before I was so awake that I couldn't put up with it in a corporate environment. And she said, what does that mean? I said, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this isn't working. And you deserve better and I deserve better and we'll make it work. And it did. I found my voice. And I was like, enough is enough. Because I didn't want someone to make me feel like I didn't want to cry at work. I didn't want that stress. There comes a point where it's like, I can work on something else. There's other projects. We don't have to work together. Ironically, this person had chosen me and I'm like, I think it was a mistake. Let's try something else. It's the mature thing. I said what everyone else thought in a nice way. It wasn't argumentative. So you can just come through and say, I don't think this is working. That's a really mature thing. We need to find a solution. I don't think I'm the person. Let's find someone else. I can help you. I'll help offload this stuff too. That person was surprised. And I took my power back and I felt better immediately. You can do this. If there's something that you need to do like that, just speak up in a mature way. It does not have to be pointing fingers. Just, this isn't what we talked about. This isn't working. Something's not right. Say it and then engage with the discussion and you'll find the words. They just come out of your mouth. I wasn't even thinking, I just said it. And it was liberating. So sometimes you have to do that in the face of devil-like energy, okay? That's one of the things I'll never regret, that and quitting. And there's moments where I've spoken up. I once had a boss at another company that was spreading lies, and I took another peer with me and I said, you need to stop it. I heard you saying this, I heard you doing this, it's not right. He said, you're emotional. I said, no, I'm just telling you the truth. But you need to stop it. And I quit a week later. Sometimes like I said, I couldn't change that, but I did put a boundary and a limit in place. So know your limits, speak up when you need to. There's a reason I don't want to be in corporate jobs anymore. They're not fun. There's a lot of people that kind of like are looking out for themselves. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Now, here's a positive reading of the devil. This could simply be your own limits. Because look at the spread, folks. We have 2 opportunities, 2 strengths, communication and creativity, and maybe a fear of asking, can I have this? Can I do this? I'd like to be considered. It comes from the past. Someone in your life may have instilled that fear or doubt, but it isn't present here in the here and now. So what we want to work on in this situation is mental. And you can work with a mentor or a counselor to help you overcome those fears, doubts, and uncertainty. Because this is talent. This is a path in front of you. This is an opportunity presenting itself. These are two skills that can open up at least two doors, but it requires communication. So that's the read for those that are working. It's either internal or it's a very obvious external. And even this can be subtle. You're not thinking big enough because the Travelers is expansive, like beyond the world. It's a new world. So that's my read on this. It could just be a subtle fear or anxiety or a very obvious person in your life or block in your life that you need to move beyond. And there's at least a couple opportunities knocking. All right, for those of you that own your own business, this is financial planning. The Queen of Pentacles and the Devil are showing that you need to map out. It feels like there could be some inconsistency in how much revenue is flowing in. So mapping it out so that there's fewer ups and downs and there's more, it's just more predictable. You might also not be able to keep up with demand, or you've over anticipated it. So finding maybe one or two other people that can help you out. Teamwork makes the dream work here. We have 3 court cards, very reminiscent of what we're seeing here. We have the Knight, so we have actually 4. So the 4 people in the Travelers showing that you might need to expand your team, get someone that can help you with the finances, etc. What I do like is marketing seems to be good. People seem to like what you're doing. And right now seems pretty decent, but this is more, I feel like this is like a quarter ahead or a quarter behind. So it's either the last 3 months or the next 3 months. There needs to be better planning. You might be missing something. So get some additional insight. That's my takeaway for those who have their own company. And if something isn't working, release it. Like, not release the product, but like let it go. Don't put any more time and energy into it. Focus on the stuff that's working. Okay. Job seekers. The one that you just reached out to, or the thing that's most recent for you. It's so frustrating because very close, but not good enough. Something wasn't good enough, and it feels like a last minute, like it was pulled, the rug was pulled beneath you, or there was an unexpected no, or a disappointing no. It's for the better. It doesn't feel like it right now, but it's for the better. We see 2 other kings here in the future here, so keep reaching out. Keep looking around. When I was talking about the different types of jobs, so this one's fast-paced. The King of Swords, fast-paced, lot of sort of like rapid pace energy, meetings and communications and travel. This one's more creative and more stationary. So if you want more creative control, this is great, but you may not be moving up as fast or moving around as much if you want to travel. One is very sort of like the clock just seems to be speeding past. And I think that you can make what you want of either of these, but do negotiate better. I think one common theme this week is someone's not putting all the stuff out there. One of the negotiations that I did once, they were trying to punish me for being at a company for 3 months, and they wanted to take down my pay by 25% because of that. I'm like, that was a very short-term job at. I worked for a little bit at like a nonprofit for all intents and purposes. So I was like, you're not gonna. That was just something I did for a few months while I was looking for work, and that is not even commiserate to the wage. That I was like, no, we're not going to do that. So instead, it ended up being 10%. I negotiated it, and then I got 15% more back because I was like, this is ridiculous. But in doing so, they had to give me a better title. I'm like, that's fine. They said, are you sure? I said, yes. So negotiate. You never know until you push. I knew 100% my worth, and I knew that it wasn't right. And I knew I was doing a really good job. You have to know when you can push in the negotiation tactic. And I was like, no, I've been working really hard, and I'm worth this. I should be getting more than the last one, not less, especially if it's a bigger company. So sometimes they kind of like think that you're green under the ears or something, and you're not. All right. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else here. The Magician also shows me we're looking for superpowers. You can do more than you might imagine. You could repackage your skills in such a way that you could go in a new trajectory, try something completely different. So self-employment if you wanted to, provided that the income is there. If not, you might need to go into a partnership. And I think this would be a great time for a small business where maybe there's 3 or 4 principal owners or investors. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse also, maybe you're not used to asking friends or family or former coworkers, but in addition to a recruiter or traditional application process, like go to that network. That's really important too, okay? Can you find something? Yes. Is there a rejection here? Yes. But there's at least 1 or 2 opportunities around the corner, and it may be next month since we're heading into the holidays, but plant the seeds right now. It's really important. We do see favorable results. For students, some of you want to change significantly, like what it is that you're doing, because we have transformation here. By the way, everybody, it's okay to change your mind or change your path. But students, you might want to go in a new direction or transfer to a new school. Something about this experience isn't good. It could also just simply be a dean or a class or something. Something needs to be shifted, moved, or changed. And if you do want to change majors, you can do that or change focus. All right, for retirees, lean into this energy of transformation. This is a point where you don't really, you don't have to owe an explanation to everybody, but sometimes we feel, what am I without this? So the job was the devil. And when you're retired, you find a new purpose beyond that. And it's more than just the family. For some of you, your children may be grown, or maybe you don't have children, you're single. Whatever it might be, it's like, I need something more than just this. So yes, travel comes through literally, but it can also just be exploring new paths that you've never done before. Spiritual development, a part-time job, or maybe you're going to be in a mentor sort of situation. But these are really strong communicating and creating cards. So you could also be doing your own sort of thing, whether it's a written project, an art installment, something really fun where you're using all your years of experience in a way that, you know, really pays off and shows all that you have to offer. All right, let's move on to love. I'll try to touch on this lighter. I really work too much on some of these, but as it starts coming through, I can't help it. So anyway, for love, heart, sacred fire, passion. Okay, where's the passion? The card was reversed. You either feel it or you don't. To quote Bonnie Raitt, I think someone else wrote the song, but I can't make you love me if you don't. That's the devil. You can't make someone feel something that's not there. Otherwise, I'm going to start just singing the song lyrics there if I keep going. But that's basically the crux of the song is one partner is engaged, the other isn't. They know it's a swan song. It's like, okay, I can do better. I deserve better. And yes, you do. So in this moment in time, for some of you, it just may be recognizing that someone doesn't feel the same sense of passion and connection. And that's okay. Someone else will. And you owe it to yourself to find that connection. Let's break it down specifically into those in a relationship, then looking for love, and then single and happy. If you're in a relationship, you may need to rekindle the spark. It starts with a conversation. It also starts with an action. So you could just surprise someone, cook their favorite cook their favorite meal, or book a, maybe even like not even a vacation. It could just be a reservation at your favorite restaurant, or buy tickets to a movie or play or event and surprise them. And then this kind of like re-engages the connection that you have. It can also just be talking, say like, let's spend some time together. Because for many of you, there may be a lot of focus on this work, money, and the home are coming through really strong because these are cards connected to the home. There are things that are out of your control, and this can make the relationship stronger if you basically come together on that and say, all right, let's overcome this. It could be a health challenge. It could be something going on around you, but you can face this together stronger. There could also be, the devil is such a nuanced card. Now it's coming through in your position. So it's something that you can't change, you can't control, or you might be avoiding. And so it's really important to face that, to deal with that, to communicate around that so that it doesn't continue to maybe drive a wedge. This can also be an in-law. So we have ostensibly the two of you, and this can be like a mother-in-law or father-in-law, and they're trying to get in the middle. It can also be an ex. So we want to really have strong boundaries, clear communication, accountability. And I'm so sorry, if someone's trying to keep a secret, it is not going to be kept. Seven of Swords, maybe you got it, maybe it was hidden in the past, but it's coming to the light of day right now. And so own up to it, shine a light on it, work through it. That's going to be much stronger, okay? But it can simply be something out of your control. And if that's the case, the two of you work together to try to figure out how to navigate, okay? Let me see if there's anything else. This is interesting. If you maybe are recently married or are thinking about getting married, you've been together for a while, and you want to start a family, I don't know if both of you are on the same readiness level, because this is usually a pregnancy card, but this is one where it can be work, it can be other things, and it's sort of like a question of time. And you have to be very ready, both of you. Just going forth into that is not going to make it better. You both have to want that. So talk that through. Okay, now let's move on to those that are seeking love. If you're seeking love, someone else is doing the same here. And it could be someone from a different geographical location, socioeconomic, or religious background, something different. They're coming forth. I do get, again, a serious sort of nature about this. It could be a Capricorn, by the way, with the devil. But what I see with the earth energy here is it feels like they haven't done the same work that you have, perhaps. Or some of this is attracting some of this. So just working on accountability and honesty will help you attract these two, which are much better than these two. I like the King of Swords. I like the King of Cups. These are good matches for you in this moment. But there's a little bit of internal work to do, healing from the past. Someone that lied to you, or maybe you weren't as honest or as communicative as you wanted to be. You're changing that, because we just saw that. You're opening your heart, and it can be better here in the future. Okay. One last thing, though. The Magician is chemistry. And this is a lack of chemistry. Someone can look good on paper. Someone can be like a setup from your parents or friends. Are like, oh, you're going to love this person. And you're like, actually, I don't. Or you do and they don't. If it's not mutual, the spark, it's just not worth it. Okay. Single and happy, good for you. Healing is necessary in this moment in time. Healing wounds of the past. Also just being honest with yourself about what it is that you want in your life. Some of you really want to go in a different direction. Do it, explore it. What we see here opening up, superpower energy, we're kind of getting into that now. We'll look at it as we go into destiny. I haven't forgotten the special topic. I just had a lot to talk about. But action, communication, and creativity. These are the things this week that can take you the distance. But if anything, communication is one of the strongest energies coming forth. So you can really make things happen, and you can turn around things with your finances and with your money if you want to. Now let's go into destiny, and we'll focus a little bit on this with superpowers, because it has 3 things listed here. Interesting. It was a reversal, but it says sacrifice, caretaking, and rigidity. It's the Queen of Pentacles reversed. She gives to the point that it hurts. She is very good at caretaking, but sometimes she is very grounded, like it's my way or the highway. And sacrificial lamb. So we'll do so much to almost become a martyr. So we're going to walk away from that. We don't need to sacrifice our overall health in order to be accepted. We have to take care of ourselves. Otherwise, what are we doing, right? And we have to try to be more open. The seahorse here is one of the most beautiful metaphors for, it's basically the King of Cups, but it's divine masculine and divine feminine, because the male seahorse takes the eggs from the female and carries them and births them. It's kind of interesting. It's the reversal of what most animals do. So you can embody all of it. You don't have to you don't have to choose something so rigid, so binary. It's a non-binary card, basically. So the devil right now might be that it's either or. What we're seeing here is a blending of these two, maybe even these three. So the other path in front of you is one that you create, and it isn't just what's on the signpost. It's something that you kind of create. Joy keeps moving around. Now joy is up. So I do feel like this can also help you be happier in the long run. Let's take a look at the big idea. And in this big idea, I'm specifically going to ask two questions. What's your superpower? What's blocking your superpower? Every good superhero has an origin story, and they have to get over something, right? So we'll figure out what your superpower is and what your kryptonite is. That's why you tuned in today. Hopefully to hang out as well, but I do want to answer that question. All right, superpower, the Lovers, we love it. And your kryptonite is the Hanged Man. Okay, I'll take it. One of the most engaging cards that one can pull is the Lovers here. I love the Eye of Providence in the background. So the Lovers is a gigantic magnet. And people are paying attention to you in the same way they would with the Star card. All you have to do is feel the sense of, I deserve this and I'm worthy. And I know it sounds easy, but really it is hard sometimes. When good things happen, there's this moment where you're like, is it real? What's the catch? Sometimes there doesn't have to be a catch. If it's all vetted, if it's right, then it's just you. You attracted this. So really focus on seeing what the divine can see, which is your value, just how lovable you are, how worthy you are. You're a great person, and people don't always say that, right? Seeing your beauty, seeing your strength, seeing your worth. That will attract more. But it has to start within. You have to think to yourself in a way that it's not vanity, it's love. I love and accept myself. I'm as good, if not better, than I can possibly, this is the best that I can be. And it has to be enough for myself. If there's something you want to work on, but do it for yourself, not for others. Your kryptonite, your block, is the Hanged Man. There's no rush, except the time limit you might be putting on yourself to accomplish something, to prove something. Take your time. Slow and steady is really what wins the race here. Look at it from a different perspective, and just be as present as possible here. You might be missing something. That's the one thing with the Hanged Man. It's encouraging you to look one more time and make sure that you've seen all of the possible opportunities, and that's what's going to help you go the distance. But the Lovers is great, but you have to feel the love. And it starts again within. Okay. Let's now get ready to go to the final part of this reading. There are two major things that we're going to look at. We're going to meditate, then I'll do a final card. Again, before I do that, if you'd like to show some love and support, please like and subscribe. You can also give me a follow on social media. And thank you in advance. I see we have a lot of supers. We'll talk more about that in a second. Let's go ahead, first and foremost, and meditate. I'd like you to close your eyes. We're going to use the energy of the cocoon to help with this. So imagine that you are outside in the middle of a beautiful grassy field, and it's springtime. You can smell flowers blooming. You can hear birds chirping. And as you find a place that's comfortable, you lay down on the green grass. There's lots of little clover near you, and these beautiful butterflies are sort of just wisping about. As you lay down, call in those butterflies and imagine that they create a living cocoon, all this sort of beautiful energy. They land on your body and their wings gently move, almost tickling your cheeks and making you just feel connected to the planet and to this magic energy that's all around you. But also as they start to move their wings, they start to pull out anything that doesn't need to be there, and they start to cycle in a new energetic cycle in your life. Imagine that you could also see all the different colors of the rainbow with these different butterflies around you. Close your eyes and start to feel that you're wrapped in love. We'll pull in the energy of green, or the color of green, because it's in the grass. It's the color of the heart chakra. So imagine that there's a cocoon of green light. The butterflies go back into the sky, and you just feel this sense of love and healing taking place, knowing that there's no rush to the healing that's happening, and that there's no limit to the love that you can experience. And just imagine that all of this and then some, like whatever your dream or goal is, say to yourself, I am ready to receive all of this or greater. Place your hands on your heart, take a deep breath. On the exhale, open your eyes. And when you're ready, I'd like you to focus on your final question. This can be anything that you need some additional advice or insight on, and we'll see what Spirit has to say. Okay, we have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles in reverse, but Three of Pentacles nonetheless. What I love about this is we have like the orca whales or whatever swimming in circles here. Cyclical energy. Some of you might just be on a rebound financially, emotionally, but it is a rebound. And we do see things moving around. You have to keep moving and you have to keep focusing. And this is a teamwork card. And we had so many different court cards today. We had the Travelers, which shows radical change and movement can happen. And so this is a moment where it's better in that sort of team energy to make it work. Very aligned with what I pulled for the daily reading as well. Turning a new chapter, turning a new page is also what I'm getting with this. And don't be afraid to do that, to let go, to explore, to try something new. As a yes or no, it's a yes. However, it's really important to make sure that if there is an edit or revision or improvement that you need before proceeding, that is communicated and that is delivered upon, okay? Particularly when we're looking at agreements, contracts, and compensation, okay? But this is also just a mastery and learning card, so keep working on what you're working on. I like the overall trajectory. You're making great progress. And that, my friends, is everything. Thank you so much for your love and support. I definitely felt it over the past week. I hope you can feel the sense of community here as we do this each and every Sunday. Again, subscribing is a great way to give back. I'm on all major social media at Nicholas Ashbaugh. Blue Sky, nicholasashbaugh.com. That's also my website in case you ever need additional information about me. Thank you to all that gave back. I'll be sort of calling out all the contributors in just a moment. Quick reminder that I don't give direct message. I don't use direct messages, rather, and I don't give readings, private readings. So if there's anybody that's messaging you and doing that, they're fake. Let me know about it. I'll block and report. Please do the same. Okay, I'd like to take a couple moments here just to express gratitude. So first and foremost, just for everybody for showing up. It's good to see you. You make my week every week when we do this. Thanks for giving me a little extra time to focus on my health and Apollo's. I needed it. I don't think I've taken that much time in a while, and it was really just resting. I'm still kind of recovering, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's take a look at memberships first. Either someone that was gifted a membership or joined today. Let's see who we've got here. All right, I'm going to say first names only, do my best to pronounce. Apologies for any mispronunciations. We have quite a few today, so I'm sure we had some gifters, which I'll call out in a second. So Peace Seeker, Monica, Tinkerbell, 62 and Sunny, Jennifer, Kimberly, Alina, 7 a.m., Angela, let's see, Lilia, I think it is, Chan, James, Jigyasa, I hope I said that correctly, She, Barbara, and Enzo. Good to see many of you and see many of you again. I recognize a lot of those names. Let me take a moment here to say thanks to those that gave back with gifting memberships as well. So give me just a second here. Fan funding, here we go. All right, so I don't know if I said Alina. You might have done that before we started, but welcome. Deborah, thanks for 19 months. Amazing. Peace and love to you as well. Lori, thank you for 16 months. I'm glad that you found this helpful and appreciate that. Let's see, Amitabha, thank you for 7 months. And you're very welcome. Let's see, Schoolhouse. Thank you, Schoolhouse Intuitive, I should say. Thank you for 6 months of membership, and I appreciate the well wishes for Apollo. Let's see. Thank you also for gifting a membership. I see that. And gifting another one. Thank you. Colette, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Let's see. Mira, thank you for 3 months of being a member here. Lucy, thank you for 1, for gifting 1, I should say. Also, Schoolhouse, you're amazing. You did several today. Thank you for gifting 5 more. Quiet Play, thank you as well for gifting. And we have a lot of wonderful, generous gift backs as well. So give me a second here. I'd like to say thanks to everybody that gave with a super sticker or super chat. I'm going to take a moment now to acknowledge that. So here we go. Raven, Anne, PJ, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Amitabha, Lucy, Cape Hamet, LA, Julie, Water Girl, DS, Monica, Robert, Snow, Hattie or Haiti, Quiet Play, and Calmarin, I think it is. Calmarins, thank you. And special thanks to Coy and Robert for giving a little extra. That means a lot. I appreciate you guys. All right, I think I called everybody out there. So much love and light. And again, just thank you for being present. I saw Calm Rain also for 10 there at the end there. Thank you very much. If I missed anyone, I know that Dakota's done a great job of thanking you in real time. All right, let's wrap up with Apollo. We'll give him a little bit of love, and then I will kind of like wrap up for today. All right. Let's see if we can get the camera more on you. Hold on. That's all we're going to get for Apollo this week. He's taking it easy. And yeah, he has some sutures on his belly. So always scary when it's your child, when it's your baby, when it's your partner, to see that happen. But he's okay. He was protected. And thank you all for your love and support. I'll see you again, same time next week. We'll start to see the rollout of the monthly videos this week. I'm going to play around with the format, like I said. So thank you for being patient and allowing me to kind of like evolve and try new things. I'm also going to be taping a new podcast, which should debut next month. So keep an eye out for that. And I saw Veruca. Thank you so much for your contribution there as well. But in the meantime, wishing everybody a great week ahead. I hope you're safe. If you are traveling, travel safely. Wishing you all the best now and always. See you soon. Bye-bye.